Good morning. It is December 4th, 11 o'clock. I'm sitting here at John Wayne Marina looking out over the Straits of Juan de Fuca towards that way. There's a sand thing that they put out there, block off the entrance, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's man-made or not, but I was talking about Madeline. So I went to work for Sinclair Place July 10th, 2017. You know, I would have met Madeline then. She just was one of the ladies, clients that was at the place that we took care of. She was easy, man. There they would give the resident a little push button thing, and you had a beeper, and it would show up. You know, they'd push their button, and it was all computer done, and it would show up what room. And so you knew where to go and who needed help, who was calling for help. You know, they could wear it around their neck and stuff. Anyway, and and all the time in the 8.5 months that I worked there, Madeline, I think, pushed her pendant once, and it on my shift, and it was like, I mean, there were like 2 or 3 residents that when they pushed their pendant, man, I came running because they never pushed their pendant. If they pushed their pendant, there was something going on. And they were just running a test. Mike, the maintenance guy. So anyway, you know, I like I said, I was going there, you know, after end of every shift, going bringing her a cup of coffee. We'd sit and talk. You know, she read probably, you know, twice as many books as I have in my life, and I've read a lot of books. You know, she loved to read. It was interesting because very early on, like within the first month, I mean, we got to talking about, you know, our grief. And her husband had, this was 2017. So her husband had 4 years before committed suicide upstairs in her house. And, you know, I had lost my daughter, you know, and we had a common bond, you know, of talking about grief. I mean, grief is grief. You lose a loved one. I mean, it doesn't matter. People go, oh, John, you know, you lost a daughter, you know, I can't imagine. And of course you can't imagine until you have it happen. But I mean, grief is grief. I had never lost a spouse before, so I didn't know what that was like. And, you know, it really was. Very early on, I also said, you know, you remind me so much of my dad. She was just like my dad. It was eerie. You know, the same dry sense of humor my dad had, the same, oh God, wit, the same, just, you know, I could have one-word conversations with my dad, and with Madeline, I could have no-word conversations. We knew. I mean, it just, I don't know, it was weird. You know, although I did not know how she felt about me throughout the whole time I worked there. I had no clue. She hid that so well from me. You know, I walk in there. I mean, she tried to give me a Christmas present for Christmas 2017, and it was like, I'm going, do you want me to come to work tomorrow? Yeah. I said, well, then I can't accept this Christmas present. You know, I can't do it. So, you know, we became really close throughout my work in there. You know, you get off work, you come in the next day, and, you know, people are there to die, and so they're not doing real well a lot of the times. And so I'd be concerned about them. You're not supposed to take them home, but I'd be concerned about them. You know, I'd go in there and I'd go, how's so-and-so, you know, and one of the first people I ever checked on was Madeline. I'd go make sure she was okay, just say hi, and I could go about my day. You know, she was that important, even though I didn't realize it at the time. All right, so, you know, that kind of covers my time at Sinclair Place with Madeline and all the other residents. I screwed up after I quit in February of 2018. I should have sent all those ladies a Mother's Day card. That would have been like, you know, in the soft underbelly on all those employees there that hated me so much. One more story. I was going, you know, I had been there probably 4 or 5 months, and I'm comfortable there. I'm running the place. It's my place, Sinclair Place. I own it. You know, I kept it going for months. And I'm walking in, and I go to Madeline. I go, man, if my dad could have met you, I mean, you and my dad. And my next thought was, you know, I think maybe after we got married, my next thought was, I'm so glad she didn't meet my dad. She got to meet me. I got to get that part of her. So, I quit Sinclair Place. They drove me out. That was absolutely, if it if I had been black and the new director they brought in it had been white, I would have had a case for racism. I mean, I just like this woman. It was amazing. I just went, I can't work for you anymore, and I screwed up my language in quitting. I could have quit without, if I said I can't work here. I think I should have said I cannot work for you is what I should have said, and then contacted Enlivant and all that, and it was like, in hindsight, that was really stupid, John. That I thought I said it the right way and I didn't. When I look back on it and all is said and done, oh, then I went on my 10,000-mile journey of the western half of the state of Washington. That was amazing. I'm watching this Nick Zentner on Central Washington University, and he's talking about these places, and I'm going and visiting them. And the weird thing is there is absolutely nothing tying me to Sequim, and I kept coming back. I kept going away, and I don't know, something just kept bringing me back. Oh man, 2017, 2018. Both springs, I had set it up to buy a house. I was pre-approved. I mean, even Wells Fargo was approving me for $140,000. They don't approve anybody. And I've been in my bank for 30 years in my pool business and shit. And it's like, Jesus, man, they, getting anything out of them. And both years, I had that yanked out from under me. And that just, Misty and I get divorced, and she ends up buying a house. It just was like she had the same credit I did. She signed the same documents I did. And I had set it up, and that was such a turnaround for me from when I moved here, because my life was over when I moved here. So, that in 2018, that had a lot to do with I was done, man. I mean, why not me? How come I can't? How come I can't, get a house? Why? What's the deal? And if I had, it would have made my life so much more difficult. Through the following year or two. It's a good thing I didn't get a house. So that was kind of, when I started my Christ Odyssey, it didn't eat for 42 days. And what a place to be. I was throwing up for like 2 weeks straight. Man, I drink water. I was drinking Kool-Aid and Hawaiian Punch, and just half of it would stay down, at least, I guess. That's why I stayed alive. Anyway, I came down from my Christ Odyssey, and, I couldn't do it anymore, though. I couldn't go spin my wheels. And I talked to my friend Charlie. Thank you, Charlie, for being there the whole time. I was talking to my friend Charlie, and God, my friend Charlie, I'm sorry, I just got sidetracked on him. He's talking about coming down from my Christ Odyssey. So I go in there, man, and the first thing I do, man, when I walk through the doors, is I realize I'm gonna see Madeline. I am gonna see her. And walking back to her door, and Mike escorting me, that was funny. Like I told my friend Charlie, I was sent like a missile to Madeline. In all my sobriety, getting sober in 1984, and you learn to have a relationship with God, and what you're asking is, what's your will for me, God? And finding that out and figuring it out is a really tough deal. Well, actually, it's not. When you're a parent, God's will is for you to go be a parent, a father. God's will is for you to stay sober. God's will is for you to go to work every day. God's will is to, get up and be a fucking human being. So, in these since 2013, when I moved here, God's will for me, man, I didn't know. I guess I was going out on a daily basis and just being a smile for somebody. That's the only smile they saw that day. If that's the only Spirit of God they saw, then so be it. It was going to be me. And that's, after moving here, that's one of the I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be a positive influence to people.